Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to my Robinhood portfolio. Today I'd like to talk about a stock that has disappeared from the portfolio. If you guys have followed along on prior videos, you'll know that on a lot of my review videos I have went over the entire portfolio, and you may know that I have the entire portfolio segmented as per market sector. I currently have up on the screen industrials, first starting up top with some aerospace companies, BA and LMT, Boeing, and Lockheed Martin. And then as I scroll down, you'll see other companies within that particular market industry, some conglomerate companies, GE, 3M, Machinery, ITW, Illinois Toolworks, a couple railroad companies, CNI, UNP, one supply company, International Paper, and then below that I had a chemical company, Dow, but that is now not on the portfolio. But if I scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see Robinhood has actually taken that out of my portfolio. And the stock is now no longer tradable. You can see Dow Chemical here. The stock is not currently tradable on Robinhood. But you'll notice here, a merger has been completed. Dow, DuPont complete $130 billion merger. And this was also noted in the comment threads as well. A viewer on the video, prior video, Murad Shawar, wrote, "Are you not going to make a video on Dow Chemical merging and becoming DWDP? And explaining why the share disappeared on Friday. Would be a very informative video for new investors." So yeah, definitely will comment on that. So Dow Chemical, DOW, and DuPont, DD, have now formed a new company, DWDP, which you can see here. First started trading on the markets September 1st. Unfortunately, that was Friday, I believe. Monday, this past Monday, was a holiday. The markets were not open. So this will be the first day that this new stock will be trading. So it is saying that the stock is temporarily untradable, but I think that will change when the markets open up today. So kind of an interesting story. I believe Dow Chemical is the second largest chemical company in the world, and I believe DuPont is the 8th largest chemical company. So it's going to be a very, very strong company. But in a very interesting fashion, they are actually going to split this company up again. So Dow Chemical, DuPont combined, but then they're going to essentially spin off 3 separate companies within 18 months of closing, or at least that's what the information on Robinhood here was explaining. So they're basically going to synergize their 2 companies, DOW, DD, into one company, DWDP. It's going to be a very, very large company. This will be a $73 billion company. And then they're going to be breaking that up into 3 separate companies. So it'll be tradable again. It'll be another split with the stock, throwing off spin-off companies to have 3 separate companies. And it's very similar to what happened with AbbVie Incorporated and Abbott Laboratories. So if I scroll up to the top here, another way of trading the stock market is trying to trade around these events, because there is a lot of momentum trading when stocks are either combining like Dow Chemical and DuPont did, or when they are throwing off spin-off companies. You can see Abbott Laboratories here. If you go to the 5-year graph, you can see this large drop-off here. It was trading at $59.65 or so, trading $30. So what happened there? Well, what happened is it threw off a spin-off company, AbbVie Incorporated. And you can see that here. Was not trading until, looks like, January or so of 2013. Or actually December, right around that part there. But you can see it's about $30. So that's about equivalent to what was happening with Abbott Laboratories here. So that was a spin-off company. Abbott Laboratories, a healthcare services company, threw off its pharmaceutical division in the form of AbbVie Incorporated. And I can see the same thing happening with this new stock here on the bottom, the newly formed DuPont and Dow merger here, DWDP. This is going to essentially split up into 3 separate companies. Not quite sure what the organization of those 3 companies will be, but very, very interesting nonetheless. So yeah, just wanted to respond to a comment on one of my prior videos with reference to a video talking about this particular merger and what happened with the stock. Where did it go? Well, essentially it's taken down a couple days while the merger happens, and then it is tradable typically on that next business day. Unfortunately, this time around, that was a Friday with a holiday on Monday. So 4 days later, on the 5th here, this stock will start trading on the stock market. It's very, very interesting to see what will happen with this stock. Typically, this is a very, very good time if you want to do some momentum trading. There will be a lot of investors jumping on board with this particular stock. And typically, it will trend down a bit, then it pops up, and then over the course of the day, it typically will trend down again, or at least that's what I've seen. But again, there's no guarantee that will happen with every single stock, but there is an opportunity to do some momentum trading with this particular stock. I'm going to be taking a very, very close look at this right when the market opens here this morning, and I may jump in, try to buy a few shares of this particular stock. Oh, and the other important part about this particular trade was the conversion over to the new stock. So I believe investors who had held Dow like I have will have a 1-to-1 conversion. So if you had, for example, I think I had 5 stocks of DOW. I'll now have 5, or I had 7 shares of DOW. I'll now have 7 shares of DWDP. If you had held DuPont, for every 1.282 shares of DuPont, you'll get 1 share of this new company, DWDP. And again, this is because of the differences in company size. DuPont was the second largest, or excuse me, Dow was the second largest chemical company. DuPont was the 8th largest. So quite a big difference there, and that's because, and that's the reason why that the Dow investor will get 1 share of DWDP, and the DuPont investor, DD, will only get a fraction of that. So about 0.8 or so, 0.7 or so of new stock. So yeah, just wanted to talk about that. And I can also mention that if you only held, for example, 1 share of DuPont, DD, you will not get 1 share of Dow. What will happen is Robinhood will essentially credit you the amount of that particular fractional share of that stock. As you guys know, on Robinhood, you do not get fractional shares, so they will actually credit to your account the amount of that particular trade over 0.7, whatever that converts to in share price at the time of that conversion. That's what you'll get in your account, credited to your account. It typically takes about a week or so before that will show in the account. So if you had 1 share of DuPont, you don't see a new share of DWDP. That is why you'll also see a credit at some point in your cash balance moving forward. That's happened to me in the past with another stock that had done a merger. It did not have enough shares to hold the entire share. I thought I lost that stock, and then I noticed in my account balance there was a little bit of a discrepancy. When I calculated the numbers, it definitely was the leftover from that particular company I had held prior to the merger. And so you'll have the same thing happen here. If you have 1 stock of DuPont, you'll have that essentially translated into a cash value and then credited to your account. So hope that makes sense. I hope you guys have followed along. DuPont, Dow merger here, new company, Dow DuPont Incorporated, DWDP. If you had 1 share of Dow, you'll have 1 share of DWDP, and likewise for other multiples of that. If you had 1 share of DuPont, for every 1.282 shares of that, you'll have 1 share of DWDP. And if you only had 1 share of DuPont, you'll now be seeing a credit to your account for that particular value when the merger happened. Not when the stock opens today, but when the merger happened. So yeah, not to make the video too long, just wanted to go over the merger, and thank you very much. Muar Shawar, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Definitely a very cool thing for new investors to take a look at. And then also the momentum trading after the stock has combined here. DWDP I think will be very volatile today. I think there'll be a lot of up and down movement, a lot of volatile momentum trading. Opportunity to do maybe a little bit of a day trade or a swing trade. I may be jumping in as well, like I said. But let me know what you guys think of the merger if you're going to be doing some momentum trading. And yeah, if you guys enjoy my videos, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Definitely appreciate all the support. Again, appreciate the comments on the channel and video ideas. This past video was, again, a video idea by Muar Shawar. And I apologize for not pronouncing that correctly. I seem to have been pronouncing it 3 separate ways in this video, so I apologize for that. But again, I definitely appreciate that. I'm always looking for new things to read up on and put videos out about. Very fun to do, and also the interaction with you guys. Thank you for the comments. Definitely appreciate the support on the channel. And yeah, kind of with that, I'll end the video, and we'll see you guys next time.